Ketchum.
Mhm.
He is from Soundboard. He has been very instrumental in giving me some very important training on social media, and this is for us. This is for our team, and we will be able to, there are some other options that James mentioned tonight, but I want you to take really good notes. This is going to be recorded. I'm getting texts from teams right now that have sick children and whatever, but I hope that we have enough people on this that so we can keep going, and possibly have James to ourselves. We will see from there. I see people are getting on, and that's great. And so, James, will you talk about the format, the webinar format, and then what
Sure.
you're going to cover tonight?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, thanks for the intro, Moira. So my name is James Ketchum. I am with a company called Edge Theory, and we run the soundboard for Juice Plus. So our purpose tonight is several-fold. First of all, for you all who are on the call, this is a Zoom call, but it's a webinar format call, so not everybody has a speaking role. And if you have questions, please use the chat window. There's also a separate Q&A window. They function the same, but I will definitely field those questions as I see them pop up as we go. But this just tends to make a cleaner recording for later. So Moira, feel free to ask questions too as we go.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So our purpose tonight is, I just want to give y'all a little bit of background on how the soundboard came to be, just so that you know, because this is a new territory for Juice Plus to partner with another vendor like us. But then I want to spend some time talking about Facebook and Twitter, the value of both the platforms. Those are, of course, the two biggie social media platforms out there. Why it's important to have a presence on both those platforms, and how the soundboard then ties to those platforms as well as many others, and can get content for you out there on those platforms so that you can spend less time worrying about social media and more time growing your business. And then if we do have time, I want to get to Buffer and Hootsuite, which are separate free services that integrate with Soundboard that make your life even easier for dealing with social media and dealing with content. So that's the goal for tonight. And again, feel free to ask questions as we go. I'm going to pull this poll up here real quick. So it looks like half of you are already on Soundboard and half of you aren't. So I will make a quick run through of what the Soundboard provides, just for those of you all that are not on it. Just real quick, Edge Theory, we are a conversation media company. We provide content as a service. We have big clients that you've heard of: Match.com, Mayo Clinic, Washington Redskins. We have little mom and pop gift shops down the street. We're in Jackson, Mississippi, a couple hours south of Juice Plus corporate headquarters in Memphis. We got connected with Jay Martin via an NMD in the Memphis area who I buy from, and who my CEO buys Juice Plus products from. And we presented the soundboard idea to him probably 2.5 years ago, and he loved it. We started working with the marketing team, Meredith Martin, Ben Tacker, and Katie Maxwell, on the original version of the soundboard. So the original version of the soundboard launched at Spring Conference 2015. I think it was Anaheim or Sacramento. My CEO, Joe Stradinger, launched it from the stage, and you could find it in your virtual office. And it was a free soundboard. It was Twitter only. So basically, you hooked your Twitter handle up to it, and we would tweet through your handle for you every day for free. So corporate tried it kind of like a pilot program, just to see how the interest would go, what the effect of it would be. So over the last 1.5 years, about almost 10,000 people signed up for it, even with no promotion from corporate. People just would find it in their virtual office. Last spring, so going on 1 year ago, we started working with corporate on, what's the feedback from the field? What are you all hearing? And the overwhelming response was, we really like this, but we also would love to have content that works on other platforms, particularly Facebook. And so last summer 2016, we rebuilt the soundboard and made a plan with corporate to shift away from the Twitter-only model to introduce what I'm going to show you tonight. So what I'm showing you tonight was launched at Fall Conference this past year in, I guess it was LA. I don't know. Where was it? Oh, it was St. Louis. It was in St. Louis.
Sacramento.
It was, I think it was in St. Louis, Fall Conference this October. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, it was. St. Louis, it was.
Yeah. And so it was launched to the NMDs, and now we're just using calls like this to help get the word out. So that if you were signed up for the original version of Soundboard, that version closed down October 31st. So that's why your tweet stopped in lieu of what I'm going to show you tonight. Okay. So before we get down to,
one thing, can you go back? Oh, okay, there you go. I want you to explain that URL.
Sure. So you're going to see this URL on almost every slide, shootingstars.juiceplus.vip. This is where you go to sign up for the Soundboard if you're interested. You can also access the Soundboard through your virtual office, but if you use this particular link, this ties you to tonight's webinar, which makes it easier for us to track because we give away Apple Watches. So if you've signed up previously, and several of you mentioned that you had, please email me, and I'll give you my email at the end so that I can put you in the bucket for this drawing. So, Maura, we can certainly fudge these numbers a little bit, but if we get a good amount of signups over the next couple of weeks, and we can even move this date to middle of March or something if you think that would help.
Yeah, but I think it would.
Okay, well, we can do that.
Thank you.
Sure. But we give away an Apple Watch a month for everybody that signs up, but it's nice to have these smaller buckets and tie people back to these particular teams. And so that's the purpose of that. All right. So when we're thinking about social media, we think about it in terms of several steps to success. Okay, and the outcome of these steps is, of course, we believe, to grow your business, but you've got to get comfortable with these other levels of social media so that the growth can occur. Because just like when you signed up to be a Juice Plus rep, it was not a given that people were just going to beat your door down and try to buy from you. Same thing with social media. When you begin to put healthy living content out there, it's not a given. People are not going to start tweeting at you overnight and say, how do I buy? How do I buy? So how do we take these steps? Our purpose at Edge Theory is twofold. Yes, we want you to sign up for the Soundboard, but the larger picture of what we want to offer you is calls like this, calls like what Moira was talking about. We have a larger 6 to 8 week social media training session curriculum that we're working with corporate to kind of codify and hopefully roll out to the entire company someday. But we want you to know how to exist on these platforms in such a way that you're comfortable growing your business. And there's even more platforms that we integrate with than what you see here. The next piece of this is, of course, content. You've got to have good content going out there on a regular basis so that people can see you as an authority on this healthy living topic. So back to Jay Martin's point at Fall Conference this year, we want to help you tell a better healthy living story. So the Soundboard does not push Juice Plus related content. We are zooming out from the brand. We're helping you talk around the brand, and we want to help you tell a better healthy living story with the content. When you're thinking about your presence online, like it or not, you are a brand. You are a franchise owner. You are a representative of this company. And so you've got to think in terms of coming across well, putting your best foot forward, and being yourself on top of being someone that's passionate about healthy living and passionate about Juice Plus. So we want to help you understand how to do that on these platforms. Then these platforms also offer a great amount of information about who your audience really is. So how do we dig in, figure out what our audience cares about, talk to them where they are, not just talk Juice Plus all day and expect people to come be drawn to us. You know, we've moved past that age of advertising. We can no longer just sit around and say how great we are, but we have to talk to our audience where they are to catch them. Now, if we do all this well, it will result in conversations. It will result in engagements on these platforms. So now we've got to train you. What do you do with those engagements and those conversations when they occur? How do you capitalize on those? Okay, so we're going to frame what we're going to be talking about through those 5 points, which the ultimate goal, of course, is step 6 here, which is to grow your business. Most people would just want this to happen. And of course, we all want this to happen, but this, of course, cannot happen on social media without doing these other things. So Soundboard's going to take a lot of the load off of you, but it can't do everything for you. Now, let's talk about Facebook and Twitter, the two biggies. So many people say, well, I'm on Facebook. I don't need to be on Twitter. It's the same thing. Or, and I'll be very open with you about the fact that Twitter does have the highest learning curve of any of the social media platforms. It has the most complicated language. The first time you get on it, you think, how do people absorb this information? Because it looks so weird. But I want to show you as a compare and contrast why it is a valuable place to be. So thinking about Facebook, if you are like me, your Facebook friend network probably has not dramatically changed, maybe in years. I haven't gotten massive amounts of friend requests in a long time. Occasionally you get one or two, but for the most part, our networks are fairly settled in if you've been on the platform for a while. So when you do make posts, especially healthy living posts, you're posting articles or you're posting about the product, you're already talking to people that you already know. Okay, you're not prospecting for a new business when you're just posting on your personal wall. But it's a good thing to do because, again, your audience will see you as an authority on something that you're passionate about and that you care about. So when you, let's make an analogy here. Facebook is the backyard barbecue that your friends and your friends of friends are at, and everybody's having a nice time and mingling. But strangers do not walk in off the street, grab a plate, grab a beer, and sit down at the barbecue. Okay, it just doesn't happen. So you may be one of those rare people who uses Facebook to prospect, and you are going into groups, topical groups, healthy living groups, healthy recipe groups, and you are posting into those groups, and you are trying to engage with new people and converse with them and post or comment on their posts. Okay, that's a terrific marketing prospecting tool, but most of us are consumers on the platform. And so when we think about Facebook, okay, we've got to think about you're already sitting on a pretty warm network. What Soundboard provides for you on Facebook is the content so that you don't have to go dig for it. All right, let me show you an example. Let's hop over here to Jamie Kinsey's profile. I found this one. This is a post that Jamie created. You may know Jamie. She's one of the mind shares behind the Healthy Living Revolution that you're probably hearing a lot about. She made 100 Club this year, or in last fall, I think, and got her award at Fall Conference. But Jamie is really good at social media. She's on it all the time. She's doing Facebook Live chats. She's got encouraging stuff going out to her team. But she's told me she likes being on Soundboard because, again, it helps take a content burden off of her because she doesn't have to worry about finding stuff. It's just there. And mechanically, I'll show you how it works in a minute. But here's an article that she posted, pretty simple, straightforward article about making tofu taste good. But check out all this engagement that popped up around this article. Okay, she got 60 likes and then all these people talking about tofu. Now, you can read all these and you'll see none of the conversations directly went to Juice Plus. But Jamie told me because she's posting stuff like this and conversations like this pop up around these kind of healthy living posts, it makes it so much easier for her down the road to turn the conversation to the products when it's appropriate. So, she's facilitating these conversations. She's responding to these conversations, which helps her in real life and online. When people start to ask her questions, she's got the answers and she's got information about the products. And so that's how I want you to think about, positioning yourself on Facebook. And again, posting in a way that you're taking advantage of a market of people who know who you are and ultimately care something about you. And of course we all have Facebook friends that.
James, did she pick that article up from Soundboard?
Yeah, that was a Soundboard article.
Okay, so could you explain, you're going to explain that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to show how that works.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so from a compare and contrast to Twitter Twitter is, if Facebook is the backyard barbecue with your friends, Twitter is the cocktail party where you don't know anybody, but everybody's got something important to say and everybody's a potential connection. So Twitter is where you keep the conversation lighter. Of course, tweets are short, very truncated, 140 characters. But this is where you go and make connections with larger conversations. Now, Twitter is a social media platform. When you make a tweet, you do have a follower count, all right, and that your followers see your tweets. But that is where a lot of people's understanding of the platform stops. And this is where it's a completely different animal than Facebook. Because with Facebook, unless you intentionally make a totally public post, when you post, you are posting to an isolated network and your post cannot exist outside of that network. But on Twitter, think of it as a social media platform where you care about your follower network, but think of it also as a content distribution platform. It is a totally flat platform where everything that you do on this platform is totally public. And this is a good thing. Let me show you why. Because when you're on Twitter and you're tweeting correctly, and so from a mechanical perspective, just like the old version of the soundboard, the new version of the soundboard can tweet for you every day automatically, and you don't have to do anything. All right. So what I've got here is a search for hashtag healthy. And if you're unfamiliar with how a hashtag works, think of it as a conversation unifying system or like a conversation cataloging tool. So when you put a hashtag in your message, what happens is, yes, your followers see it, but so does everybody else on Twitter who's looking for that particular hashtag. So your conversation, your tweet gets associated with everybody else who's using this particular hashtag. So when you search for a hashtag, I don't follow any of these people. There may be a few examples of people I follow, but you can see all these tweets contain that hashtag, which is actually a live link. So now when we scroll and we look for hashtag healthy, okay, here is an perfect example of a soundboard tweet. Okay, I know it's a soundboard tweet because my team and I wrote it. This is Ben. Ben is a soundboard subscriber, and Ben has 89 followers, which in the the Twitterverse would be considered a smaller account. But this is where the platform gets very flat, and it is immaterial how many followers you have, because what Ben has to say to his 89 followers is also seen by everybody who has something to say about healthy living, everybody who's searching for it, and it's included alongside any other account that has huge amounts of followers. Okay, here's somebody who's passionate about veganism who has 25,000 followers, and here's some health blogger who has 10,000 followers. Okay, so the point is, it doesn't matter how many followers you have on this platform. And also, Ben, who Soundboard tweeted this out for him, he got a retweet and 3 likes on this particular tweet. So this is 4 new connection points that he's made with people who may or may not follow him, but have cared enough about what he has to say to engage with the message. And now he has the ability to connect with those people. Okay. The other cool thing about it is, and this may take us to an article here. Nope. Okay, cool. So a lot of times what we do on Twitter for you is we're tweeting out the link to your specific Juice Plus site. Okay, so if somebody were interested in making a sale, we don't send people just to the .com site. We're going to send them to your site so that you get the credit for it. Now, the other aspect of Twitter that people don't know about and is so powerful is how portable tweets are. And you probably have seen this even if you didn't realize you were seeing it. Because tweets can be embedded in other web pages. And so, regardless of whether or not you follow a certain individual on Twitter, you've probably seen, a Donald Trump tweet embedded in a news story, over the past couple of months. And you can read the tweet. That's not a screenshot. That's an embed of the actual tweet. And so tweets can get stuck all over the web. The other amazing thing that happens is this. Let's say, all right, Ben's tweeting. He's doing a good job. He's getting the word out there on the platform. But let's say Mr. Bojangles thinks Twitter is stupid. All right. He couldn't care less because he just doesn't want to learn it. But he's on Google every day. Okay. So when you make a Google search, two things happen. One, which you obviously know how it works. Google goes and scrapes the web and brings back lists of websites. Okay. But the other thing that Google does, and people are less familiar with, is that Google and Twitter have like this official marriage. And Google is constantly scraping and looking for what's happening on Twitter. So I just did search #healthy on Google. The first thing that comes up is a bunch of tweets that feature #healthy. So when you are tweeting regularly, your stuff can be seen and read by people who aren't on the platform, who don't have an account, because it's so open and public. So, and here's another example. Here's a twitter.com search. You know, that's the result on Google. So this is where Twitter's capacity to get you found far exceeds Ben's count of 89 followers. So if you are new to the platform or you're considering a Soundboard subscription where we can tweet for you, don't get buried or discouraged or lost in this thought that I have to grow this number to millions and millions of people to have a successful account. You just don't. Okay, it's unnecessary. Now, from a mechanical perspective, here's what Soundboard provides. We are trying to provide authoritative, accurate social media content for you. We have been working very closely with corporate over the last couple of years. We understand compliance. We understand what you are and are not allowed to say, and we understand the claims that you are not allowed to make as a Juice Plus rep. So we would never get you in trouble with the content that we provide for you. Soundboard does have a cost associated with it. It's very low. And then again, with Twitter, we can tweet for you every day because Twitter as a platform allows outside apps to tweet, to push content through the handles. Okay, so when you sign up and you hook your handle in, we're going to tweet for you at least twice a day, just like we did for Ben. Now, all these other platforms that are out there, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Google Plus, Instagram, I know I'm leaving something out. Those don't allow for auto posting. So what the Soundboard provides for you is content that you can pick from and post to any of those platforms whenever you want, and you don't have to go dig for the content. I see a question coming through. Let me see what this is. Okay, Hamilton, been using Soundboard since Sacramento. It is awesome. Hey, thanks for the testimonial. When it switched to a fee-based program in November, it got even better. Man, thank you for that. I owe you a beer. Just kidding. All right, so let's hop over here to the Soundboard. So we are at this link that you keep seeing everywhere, which is shootingstars.juiceplus.vip. So we have this nice welcome for you so you know you're in the right spot. If you are interested in signing up, I want to walk you through real quick what the plans do so that you can see. Every plan comes with a 10-day free trial. After that, there's no commitment. It's month to month. Of course, we hope you stay, but understand life. All right, so here's what the 3 plans do. For $5 a month, we will tweet for you every single day. It will go out through your handle automatically. It will go to your followers. It goes to the larger Twitterverse. It goes to Google. Lots of the tweets have good looking photos, and you have access to this ongoing social media training that we provide through multiple avenues. So you can sign up and feel good about knowing that you will learn how to use Twitter even if you don't today. Now, this is where most people go, one of these 2 plans, because most people do want to have access to this content that they can post on other platforms. So this $10 a month plan is just access to the Soundboard, where you can go and pick your content, post it when you want, post it across multiple platforms. You cannot, or with this plan, we do not auto tweet for you, okay? This plan does include access to that great content that I'm about to show you, and it does include the auto tweet feature, all right? So whatever you choose, whatever's gonna work for you, click your plan, and then of course we need to know who you are. And so I make a lot of these, y'all, so I have to make up a different email every time so the system doesn't wig out on me. All right, and then we put in your website. So you have two options here. One is, of course, your Juice Plus website, and that is what most people choose to do. But if you're one of these people that is building a larger brand where Juice Plus is part of your offering, and you want to promote that particular thing, then by all means use that, whatever you want to do. But why we ask for this is the link that we will frequently tweet out for you on your behalf. And of course, we just need a simple password, which you can reset at any point, and then we're going to create our account. Now, this brings us back to this screen, so we can make a choice here. You can either do monthly or annual. If you choose annual, you get 2 months for free, so you can multiply this times 10 instead of times 12. Can you change the website down the road? Yes, Marie, you can change the website at any point. That is no problem. You have full control over that.
James, can you change your payment schedule, whether you can you go from per month to annual?
You can upgrade from monthly to annual or vice versa, but that would be spending more money. So yes, you can go from monthly to annual at some point if you would like to. You can do all that from within the settings of the Soundboard.
And how do we do that once we're in the per month? Email you?
No, I'll show you. There's a
Okay.
section. There's a subscription setting. The other cool thing about the annual one, and it's not really printed on here, but if you sign up for an annual subscription, you get a free half-hour one-on-one, answer any questions that you want with me or my team. If you are a social media ninja, we will teach you the in-depths of Hootsuite Analytics. If you are just getting started, we will get you comfortable with Twitter and how the Soundboard works and all that stuff. So you are not feeling like, oh, great, I got this thing, now what do I do? So when you click it to annual, although it looks like it tries to prorate this per month, I want to be clear that your card will be charged for the entire amount up front for the whole year. But again, it's 2 months for free. So when you hit subscribe, this little credit card window pops up, and I'm going to pause the share here so my credit card does not end up on YouTube. That would be painful. All right, so we're going to hit pay, and once that clears, it's going to bring us to one more screen that says payment successful. Wait, there's one more thing. We need to add our Twitter handle. So this is where you're going to hook your Twitter handle to our system, and we can start tweeting for you. If you do not have a Twitter account, when you hit this button, it will take you to Twitter, and you can create one right there on the spot with an email address. Now I'm going to go to Twitter, and I'm going to make one little aside here for those of you all who may be a little bit newer to Twitter, or you haven't thought about Twitter in a while, even if you created an account for your Soundboard and it's just been sitting there. So when you go to Twitter, first of all, we're looking at my profile here. You can put in a square picture here for an icon, and this shows up every time you make a tweet. And then you have space back here for a nice big banner image. I highly recommend you at least put something here, as I'll show you in a moment. I'll pick on somebody. And then you have 140 characters to make a short bio about yourself, which is a very good idea. And you can put a link to your Juice Plus site right here, which is also a very good idea. This is a business handle, so it doesn't apply, but you can even put your location, which I recommend you do, because Twitter's very good about connecting you with local people and businesses, which is a very good thing. Now let's pick on somebody real quick. Let me see if I can find. So Juice Plus MJ, if you're on the call, I'm sorry for picking on you. When you create a Twitter handle, you are an egg, which means you have not yet hatched and flown off into the Twitterverse. Don't be an egghead. If you sign up for Soundboard and we start tweeting for you and you're an egghead, people will not engage with your messages because they think you're a bot or a fake account. All right. This person has not filled out their bio, and in their defense, Juice Plus MJ, they just signed up like a couple days ago. So we'll give them a little bit of leeway. But if you've been sitting like this for months and months, or if you signed up for the original Soundboard like a year ago and you think, well, it never did anything for me, my first question is, did you ever take the time to show the world and show Twitter that you were an actual person? So please take the time to do that. Allison, if you're on the call, I'm sorry for picking on you. The other kind of no-no, I think, with Twitter is when you create a Twitter handle, if your name is Joe Smith, I promise that Twitter handle is not available. You have to get creative with your Twitter handle name, which is this. You can put anything you want here, but you have to create a unique handle. It will recommend for you, if your choice is taken, some garbage handle like this. Please do not accept it. Please try to get creative with your name, initials, underscores, JP, Juice Plus Amy, something like that, because you're never going to remember this, and nobody else on planet Earth is ever going to remember this. So if you have a handle like this that's wackadoo, you can change it in your Twitter settings, and I recommend that you do it, and it doesn't mess anything up, and you don't lose any followers, and all that. Hamilton, you sure? You sure? All right.
What he said.
He says I can pick on him.
You can pick on me too.
Okay. So that was just a little aside there about creating a Twitter account. Once you get going, best practice for getting the most out of it. Okay, so now we're back here. So to sign in now to our content, you can hit the sign in button here. There's a button. Oh wait, we got to do this. Sorry, let me show you what happens. So when you click add your Twitter handle, I'm already logged in. It's going to hop me over to Twitter. That happened really fast because I was logged in, and it brings me right back here. And now my account is synced up. If you neglect this step, you can do it later once you sign into your account. So it's not a disaster if you can't figure out how to log into Twitter or something like that. Now we're ready to sign in. Okay, so we're going to sign in, and we have our email. And it always kind of wigs out on me when I put one of these emails in. We're going to put in our password that we just created, and we're going to log in. So I highly recommend at this point that you bookmark this site. I'm on Chrome. All you have to do is hit the star here, and you can revisit it, and it will keep you logged in. Okay, so here's what you're looking at. You are looking at a list of articles, images, videos that we try to update. Let me say it this way. We update it for sure every single business day. We try to update it on the weekends, but you all know how life with children goes. So these are articles that we scan. We're certainly never putting articles in here that promote rival companies or anything like that. We try to get them from authoritative sources. But what we're trying to do here, again, is to meet your 2 pain points with social media. And I don't know if I said this already or not, but we find the 2 pain points with social media are, I don't have time to do it, and I don't know what to say. Okay, so we're trying to hit both of those pain points with the soothing balm of providing content and providing what to say for you so that you don't have to worry about that. All right, so let's just go ahead and pick an article here. Downside of sugary drinks. So when you click on this article, you are taken to, we've got the headline here. This is actually a live link. So if you would like to go and read the whole thing, you can click on that and it will open it up in a new tab, and you can read the whole thing. If you are strapped for time, you can trust Mayo Clinic to be a legitimate source. And then you've got this nice big image here, and we always try to show this as clearly as we can, because when you pull an image off of a website and post it on the Facebook, Facebook will associate an image with it. Okay, so this is the one that comes with it. And then you've got a little bit of a preview of the article and this nice big share article button here. So we're going to click share, and now we have a suggested message. So think of this phrase as the middle of the Hallmark card. All right, the greeting card industry is a $4 billion a year industry because even our loved ones don't know what to say to us on Valentine's and our birthdays, right? So what we are providing for you here is not only the article to post, but we are providing what to say along with it. You can use it if you want. You can ignore it. You can amend it, whatever you want to do, but it's there. And if you don't like it, you can hit, sorry, I had to plug in here, about to die. You can hit get new message. And we always keep 3 or 4 or 5 sample messages sitting in the hopper here. And my computer's a little slow. There we go. So once you find something that you like, down here we have all these buttons, okay? What these buttons do is allow you to share in 2 clicks to these various platforms. So this is going to go to your Facebook personal account, your personal wall. This button allows you to share it in a group that you are a part of or on a business page that you manage. So I know some of you choose that. Of course, here's the Twitter button. You can add to what we're doing for you through Soundboard, or if you choose the $10 plan that doesn't tweet for you, you still can tweet. LinkedIn is a great place to make business-minded connections, so you can share business-related articles there. If you keep customer emails in some kind of group or database, you can email customers directly articles. Hey, I was thinking about you, saw this. You know, if you've got your gluten-free customers in a group and your customers that you know are runners and your customers that have kids that are on the chewables, you know, keep those people grouped by topic, and then you can send emails to a group. Of course, Pinterest is very visual. We do have a lot of images and meme style, healthy living quotes for you to use. I'll get to these 2 guys in a minute. So you pick your platform that you want to go out on. We click Facebook. We want to share on Facebook. It's going to auto copy that text, and we're going to get a pop-up here and then we just paste in our suggested text, add to it if you want, whatever you want to say, and we hit post, and it's done. It's out. It's gone.
James,
yes.
Can you change what is said in that little greeting card area that you call, like that, what you called the greeting card area?
So you cannot manipulate it here, but you can manipulate it once you get to the window where you're ready to share.
So before you share it, you can.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, you can chop it up right here.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, but yeah, just change it before you hit post.
Okay.
All right. Somebody asked a question.
Yeah, Hamilton did.
Okay. Are the same articles automatically shared on Twitter with the $15 a month program? Okay. So what we do with Twitter is twofold. We know that some of you have really specific opinions about dairy, meat, gluten, things like that. So we do not tweet out for you anything, if you were a vegan, that could be misconstrued. So I'm not tweeting out healthy sauteing of meat recipes. There are some articles in here that are applicable to all of your audiences, and we will choose to add those to Twitter. But we also, our platform and the reason our company exists is because we have the ability to map and graph language. And so we build content at scale. And so when we tweet for you, yes, you will see some of these articles percolate through, but we're also tweeting out lots of just healthy eating tips, exercise, family fitness, you know, drink more water kind of stuff. So there's a lot more in our system for Twitter than just the articles that you see, but there is some great stuff here that we also rotate through.
James, can you show a business one?
Yes.
Thank you.
So let's put a business related, well, let's just put a post on our business page. Okay, so we've got a nice recipe here. You've got a Juice Plus business page. I don't know if this would technically be appropriate or not, but it still works. So now we're going to hit this Facebook for Groups button. So a different share widget pops up. And instead of sharing it on our own timeline, you have a couple of choices. You can post it directly to a friend. You can share it in a group that you either manage or are a part of, or on a business page that you manage. And I have an inordinate amount of them because this is my business. But we have, okay, so there it is. And then you just paste the text just like you would, and again, add to it, ask questions, whatever you want to do, but it's there for you, and then post.
Okay.
So I've talked a lot through this, but basically in about 3 minutes and without a lot of work, we now have content going out on our personal page and our business page with very little effort. And so that's the heart of the Soundboard. That's the heart of what you're seeing. Is we're trying to give you a central location where you never have to worry about finding content again, and you can now have, on a regular basis, have content going out on all these various platforms. You can be touching customers, you can be touching pre-customers, as we call them. You can be working on, warming up those networks that you may or may not have ever been thinking of as a business opportunity, with this healthy living content. Now, if you want something specific, you can search for whatever you want. We also have images on here. A lot of people say, the articles are great, but that's not necessarily me to post articles all the time. I want to post something a little lighter. So we make these in-house. There's no copyright. Do whatever you want with them, but they share the same way. We have hashtags that accompany them. So if you want to put that on Facebook, same thing. You just click share to Facebook, and now you have a nice looking image going out. Or if you want to share it on Pinterest, that's another good way to do that. I got my little healthy living board there. So it works just like that. Now I got a couple questions coming through here. Let me open this real quick. Okay, so creating that invisible first funnel of new prospects to engage. Hamilton, I like your style. That's exactly right. You are trying to start the funnel here with engaging content. Now, there's a couple of other cool features here on the Soundboard available to you. One is if you have a specific interest or passion, you can submit an article to us. We've gotten some great stuff lately from a few individuals who are very passionate about healthy pregnancies for women, and so they've been giving us great articles. So you can just come up here. I'm at the top. I'm clicking on these 3 lines, which is actually a button. You can submit an article. You can just drop us the URL. If you want to give us any more information about it, you can. But that function is there. If you would like to change anything with your subscription, this is where you come. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on settings, and what settings does is you can put a little bit more information about who you are. You can reset your password here. This has kind of been a nice feature we can keep track of folks with if you want to. And then you can, you can change your Twitter account, or if you didn't create one or add one at the beginning, you can come here and add one. And then this tells you what your plan is, and you can change it to anything that you want, and it will prorate you if you went from this to this or something like that. But why would you do that? You're spending more money. All right, I actually left my phone on the kitchen counter. I'm gonna go grab that real quick because there's some stuff on mobile that I want to show y'all real quick too. Sorry, pause.
No problem. So guys, with James, it's been amazing because I really didn't do anything with my Twitter. And I went into Twitter the other day and I pulled up a business article and I posted it I posted it on LinkedIn, and I got all kinds of, as of today, just today on LinkedIn, I think I have, 10 people responded to my LinkedIn article I posted from Soundboard.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I'm blissfully ignorant, but I'm diving in and doing it anyway.
Okay, so somebody just asked a question. Please explain the difference between the $10 and $15 plans again. So the $10 plan only gives you access to the Soundboard content that I've been showing you, and you have to go and post this stuff. The $15 plan gives you access to all that stuff, and on top of that, we auto tweet for you every single day. So $10 is you do everything through the platforms. 15, you do everything through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. and we tweet for you on top of that. All right, so here's some cool mobile features I want to show you, and then I want to show you Buffer real quick. So I'm going to go to Safari, and we don't want to play Hearthstone right now. All right, so we're going to go to the Soundboard. All right, so first thing that's really cool about having this on mobile is you can actually bookmark this web page in such a way that you can revisit it. You can turn it into like a desktop app. To do so, I'm going to hit this button at the bottom that is a square with an arrow coming out of it. All right, and up comes these choices. Notice the one in the bottom right says Add to Home Screen. What this button does is it turns a web page into a desktop link, which makes it function like an app. There is no separate app download for the Soundboard, even though we know we named it the Soundboard-app and we've confused people with that. You don't have to go to the App Store to download it. So you hit Add to Home Screen, and then you can name it whatever you want. And I've already done so I'm going to cancel out. But then I want to show you on my home screen, the bottom right thing that's white that says Links. Just tap that, and that will bring you to the Soundboard every time, and it'll keep you logged in, and it's a super easy way to visit that. So when you're on mobile, a unique feature comes up that is not present on desktop, and that is the texting function. All right, let me show you that first, actually. So I think this is a great kind of customer touch thing. If you have customers that have specific passions, again, fitness, kids that don't eat, whatever, text them an article. I think this is really cool. So I've got a cooking technique here, healthy sauteing. This is a really good article about ways to saute. All right, I'm going to share this article. And so all these buttons are present that you saw before, but now we also have this green text button. So I'm going to click text. This is going to bring up my messaging app. And so this is a fairly new feature to iOS, I think since last fall, but it will now render the link just like it does on Facebook. So watch this. I'm going to text this to my boss because he loves cooking. All right. Now, when I hit text, it's going to take a second, unless healthy for food. Well, wow, all that and no payoff. So this is an instance where the website itself does not actually have a good-looking image. So this is an issue of hearthealthy.org. So let's try a different one. Let's try this Mayo Clinic article. All right, so we'll do the same thing. We'll share. We'll text. He loves getting these from me. All right, so we're going to hit go. And now you can see that I probably need to reboot my phone is actually what probably needs to happen. Wow, 2 in a row. Hamilton, I owe you 2 beers, man. This is bad. Anyway, what it usually does is it will render the article in a nice looking format, and it doesn't just come across as a link. So anyway, they can click it, and even though it's invisible, it came through, and then they can read the article just like that. So pardon my phone. Oh, there it goes. So you have a nice looking, so this is a great way to, if you got 20 customers, text them an article once a month. Hey, I was thinking about you, saw this gluten-free recipe, saw this, how to run in the cold and not get pneumonia article. And it's just a great way to touch people and let them know you care and that you're thinking about them. All right. So that's a pretty cool feature of the Soundboard via mobile. The other cool feature is this. And I'm going to search for image here. And there is no share to Instagram button on the Soundboard because Instagram never made one because they don't want you just crawling the web and sharing any old thing from the web on their platform. It's not for links. It's not for articles. It's for images tied to your camera roll. It's supposed to be very personal. So here's how you get around that. At the top here where it says turn down suites image only, click that. Remember, that's a live link, and that will actually take you to where the image is hosted on our server. we're going to tap and hold on the image until save image comes up. And when we tap that, it actually saves it to our camera roll. And now we're going to go to Instagram. And I follow a lot of rock and rollers, so who knows what's going to be on my Instagram. And then we are going to create a post, and it's right there. So it's just like a meme that you've saved. It's a graphic, and now you can do whatever you want to it, and you know, do the filters and everything, and then hashtag it, hashtag healthy, hashtag healthy living, whatever. And you have now been able to make new connections on this platform by using those, you know, same kind of hashtag techniques like you would on Twitter. So that's the workaround for Instagram on mobile. Now I'm going to click back over here real quick to my desktop. I'm going to show you one other feature that will save you some time. So a lot of people at this point in the presentation, I know you're thinking, okay, this is really great, but I thought, James, you said you were going to save me time, and I still have to come to the soundboard and think about posting every day. Well, technically that's true because I cannot auto post for you. The solution is this, Buffer. So if you've not heard of Buffer and Hootsuite, they're both free.com services, and they're both free apps. They integrate with Soundboard. What they do is they allow you to connect multiple social media profiles to one hub, and the real big upside is that they let you schedule stuff out ahead of time. Okay, so we're going to go over to buffer.com, and I'm going to show you. You can come here and you can connect your Twitter and your Facebook and your LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah. So you see I've got my personal Facebook, personal Twitter, personal LinkedIn hooked up to Buffer. So now we're going to go to Soundboard, and we're going to pick an article, and we're going to hit share. These first 6 buttons make the post go out right now, but I don't want it to go out right now. I want to hit the Buffer button. Okay, so this is what the little white square hamburger does, is it brings up the Buffer Composer, which allows us to send it out on multiple platforms at one time, which is cool. But the big thing is it lets us schedule this post. So now, full disclosure, Buffer does not auto copy this text for some reason. We're working on that, but it's a Buffer issue. So you may have to come back here and manually copy and paste if you want to use that. But what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to schedule this post. So we want to schedule this. I'm already past peak Facebook time in Central Time. So I'm going to go to, I want to schedule this tomorrow, and I want it to go out at peak hours. So peak Facebook hours are 6 to 8 a.m. And then like 6:30 or 7 to 9-ish p.m. at night. Those are your big bumps. So you want to be in the middle of that. So let's schedule this. It's going to take a second to add it to our Buffer, and then it brings us right back to Soundboard once it's done. So what you can do if you combine Buffer and Soundboard is you can sit down, and in 30 minutes you can schedule out almost a week's worth of posts if you want to do 2 a day. What Buffer for free lets you schedule up to 10 posts. Okay, so however many you want to do a day. I don't recommend more than 2 articles a day on Facebook, but you can. That'll get you 5 days. So then all you have to do is make sure that on Twitter, on your app, your notifications are turned on, so that when people start to like your stuff and retweet you and follow you, you can engage with them. Make sure your Facebook notifications are turned on, so when stuff is happening to you, you're on top of it, you're aware of it. And then same with Instagram. So the major service that we're trying to offer here is the content, the time-saving tool, and the education to help you now take what the Soundboard provides, which is that that great engaging content, and learn how to turn those Soundboard's got your back. It's going to give you a major leg up on these platforms, But now how do you take that, capitalize on it, and go to the next level of learning how to engage on the platforms? Okay, so I'll leave this up here for a second. Here's your sign up link. Here's how to find us, find me. Feel free to Vox me if you have questions. But please join us on this Facebook page, facebook.com/healthylivingsoundboard. We have upcoming trainings announced there. We have past trainings recorded, posted there. We have product announcements. We try not to bombard you all with emails, but you will get an email a month or so if you sign up from us. We launched a new user's guide. We just have lots and lots of resources. The other thing, and Maura and I are going to talk more about this, but I'm going to go ahead and put this one up here too. I am launching a social media training series starting this Tuesday at 11 a.m. You are welcome to join, but Maura and I are going to talk about possibly running this all for you as well separately. But this is the topic, what we're going to cover each time, the date, and the particular Zoom number. And I'll send you a screenshot of this, Maura, that you can.
I'd love that. Thank you, James. I was just going to ask you for that.
Yeah, because I know y'all don't need to all write this down right now, but if you want to make a screenshot yourself, you can. Just on Mac, you hit Command-Shift-4.
I just did.
Okay, perfect. So feel free to join us, and then again, Maura and I are going to talk through possibly providing this for shooting stars as well. But just really reiterate the point, and we're coming up on our 1 hour mark here, but reiterate the point that our goal at Edge Theory and with the Soundboard is not only to provide a cool service for you, but again, to be, that education resource that you need, so that you're feeling like you're getting a good value and that this is working for you. There is one other thing here. We do have a help center. We're always adding articles to it. You find it by just up here. It's one of the things. And so we have this knowledge base. We have lots of 90-second, 2-minute videos that will help. We also have some more in-depth trainings here, especially on Twitter, because Twitter's a weirdo. But there's lots of good info here. Let me put this back up. But again, this is how to find us. Feel free to Vox me, tweet at me. I have given you all an hour's worth of dense information, I know, but.
And James, you've recorded this and you're going to send this to me, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be great. And I really wanted to thank you, James. I've learned so much from you already, and we've only just begun. You give me the courage to go in and just do it. And realize that the articles, I've loved your articles. I've read them. I've tweeted them. I've linked. I've Facebook. I put them on Facebook and LinkedIn, and those are the only two platforms I've really started to use. But I plan on using more. So it's very valuable, and I'm getting a lot more activity since I signed up for Soundboard on Twitter. So I'm grateful. Very grateful.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Susie and Marie. Glad y'all could join. And I hate to pick on people, but y'all have a kind of a sarcastic sense of humor. And I had to tell y'all this. I had a lady today email me to cancel her Soundboard because she said, I don't want to have to talk to all these people. I just prefer to talk to people one-on-one. And I'm just like, well, you can lead a horse to water, but they can grow their business. So anyway,
it's nobody on my team, James.
I hope not.
Me too.
Okay. All right. Well,
all right. And
I hope we see you at conference. I'm pushing corporate hard to let me come and run some breakout sessions. So we'll grab a beer.
Yeah, and I'll get back to you on that too, James.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure. I'm going to put this on YouTube right now, and I'll send it to you, and do with it what you will.
I appreciate you.
Okay. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thanks, James.
Mm-hmm.